Hello, Karen. You're the first one to show up, so thank you for being here today. And I'll just give it a few minutes or a few seconds to see people show up. And I'm going to go ahead and just get started. So, welcome. My name is Rhonda Pierce. And I'm here in the Chicago area, and today we're going to talk about SCHMETZ home sewing machine needles. Yes, here in the Chicago area, it says 92 degrees outside, and when I look outside, it looks beautiful and sunny. But I also see on my phone that it has a heat index of 102. So I say, what a great day to sew with air conditioning, I hope. So last month, the question that was asked that put you into the drawing for the free giveaway, the random giveaway, was what do you do with do you have fabric scraps and what do you do with them? Lots of great answers. Lots of people collect them. Some people throw them away. Some make collage quilts. Some make save them for little projects like tote bags, pouches, etc. So lots of great responses. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. My chat's not moving. So I thought I was talking to nobody. So hello. Okay. Hello, Patty. Hello, Janet. Janet's here. Oh, let's see. Patty's here from Fort Wayne. Janet's here from Florida. Colleen is here. Sue says she has an embroidery needle in her machine and she's in the Chicago area. So, Sue, it's hot for you too here in the Chicago area. Marianne's here from Georgia. Okay, so as you come on, go ahead and tell me what what needle is currently in your sewing machine. So there's no right or wrong answer. Well, I hope it's a SCHMETZ needle. If you want to give the size too, that's great. Okay, Karen's making coffee. Lisa's here. And Vicki is here from Iowa. Yay. All right. So last month, our winner was Annette from Georgia. And she sent a really nice thank you note. She said she's going to share all of the giveaway goodies with her sewing buddies. So bravo. And she also sent me a couple pictures of some of the projects that she's made with her fabric scraps. So I'll go ahead and just share those with you. She made bibs using fabric scraps, and actually she sent me a couple pictures of the different bibs that she's made over recently. And for the bibs, she used a June Taylor quilt as you go batting pattern. So that was really fun. And then with shabby fabrics, she also makes a lot of burp pads. So she sent me a picture of that too. So maybe you've been inspired to use some of your scraps. As far as I go, as far as scraps go, sometimes I save them. Sometimes it depends on the size. I certainly have large scraps. I also have a couple bags of smaller scraps too that I just can't unload or give away. So thank you to everyone that contributed to last week's question. And I'll go ahead and give you the question for today to put you into the drawing for the free giveaway. One random winner will get today's giveaway, and I'll go through those wonderful products shortly. So, in order to be considered in today's giveaway, you must answer the question, what's your favorite fabric to sew? Your favorite fabric to sew. Is it cuddle fabric? Is it cotton fabric? Is it vinyl? Is vinyl a favorite for anybody? I mean, we all sew on vinyl at least occasionally, but is it a favorite for anybody? Maybe you sew on nylon, maybe you make sales, maybe you are working with upholstery fabric. So there's no right or wrong answer, but give your answer in the chat, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or on Restream, and we'll look at all your answers. And Paul will be selecting a winner for later in the our session here. So I hope you got today's or the September newsletter. And wow, isn't that first picture fantastic? This is Rita Farrow, and Rita's very vibrant, not only in her personality and her knowledge, but also in the way that she sews and dresses. So this is actually a dress that she made, combining a variety of different fabrics. And wow, she uses a lot of color in her furniture. So here you can kind of see a little dresser. It was just a boring wooden dresser, just a boring brown color. And she painted it, and I must say I do love it. And she uses it as a TV stand in her living room. So I was with Rita, was that 2 weeks ago in Iowa? And so I had to get this picture of Rita with her fun, vibrant dress and also with her dresser. So yeah, I don't think those fabrics that she used were scraps. They may or may not have been. It doesn't matter. But wow, what a vibrant dress that she made. So many of you know that Rita does the Facebook postings on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And when I was with her in Iowa, she was having a little situation making a t-shirt quilt. So she solved that problem, and well, I'll say we solved each other's problems, and then she solved one of my little situations for a trunk show that I'm working on for next year. So we are problem solvers. And you know, when we get together, I like to say we're effervescent in our conversations and the things that we do. So I hope everybody has a Rita in their life. Okay, so I see that you're posting. Brenda likes to sew with cotton. Kathy says her favorite fabric, whoops, are quality knits. Yep, yep, all right. Kathy likes to sew with cotton. So keep the comments coming in. Wynetta loves to sew on cotton. So there's no right or wrong answer. What's your favorite fabric to sew on? And that enters you in today's drawing for the giveaway. All right, so let's look at the rest of the newsletter here. I had a feature about the eyes of the needle because I don't think everybody understands that the eye of the needle is not the same through all needle types. So your everyday needle, the universal needle, the eye is 40% the width of the blade. But when you look at the eye of the embroidery needle, you can see that the eye is wider. And when you look at the eye of the top stitch in the metallic, oh, you can see that the eye is elongated. So that the shape of the eye and the shape and the size of the eye really help determine the quality of your stitch. So you don't want the thread to be too big going through the eye or it will break and shred, but you don't want it too loose either, because a loose thread or a smaller thread, you'll have less control over the thread. So sometimes you just have to experiment. So the top stitch and the metallic have that elongated eye, and the embroidery have the extra wide eye. So if you have the SCHMETZ ABC Pocket Guide, actually on pages 6 and 7, Um, well, you can see the needle points, and also you can kind of look at some of the eyes too. And also on the cover of the ABC Pocket Guide, which we also have up on the our website, SCHMETZneedles.com, you can really see the differences in the eye. So take a look at that. And on the website, the needle type is identified on our website. So the universal needle, the workhorse of all needle types, is at 9 o'clock. So give that a look. All right. Also in the newsletter, oh yes, my quilt festival, my International Quilt Festival class in Houston, coming up in mid-November, sold out. So thank you very much. I hope some of you were able to sign up for my class. It's a 3 hours hands-on class. It's quite intensive, but you know what? It's fun, and really, it's a great learning experience. And wow, I have a great kit that includes a lot of needles also. I also mentioned that in the newsletter that tomorrow night I'll be going live with Corey at lindas.com. Actually, we'll be on YouTube, but if you go to lindas.com, you can get the link there too. So Corey, I see at multiple shows throughout the countryside. I see him online. He loves to do long arm quilting, and he definitely is very knowledgeable about quilting, fabric, sewing, etc. So I'll be giving my SCHMETZ presentation tomorrow night, and I think, yeah, tomorrow night, that's 7 o'clock Central Time. So gosh, I hope you can join me, especially if you've never seen my presentation. The original sewing and quilt expos are starting up again later this month, so you'll want to make sure that you check out their schedule. And we always include the textile talks, and I hope that on Wednesday afternoons after we finish, maybe you can take a little coffee break, and then you can take advantage of these free lectures with really interesting topics. So everything from quilting, the history of quilting with African American storytelling to American identities to quilts of soul, etc. It's a different topic every month, every week on Wednesdays, and maybe it will spur a creative moment for you. So take advantage of that. The other thing I want to mention about Textile Talks is the Surface Area Quilt Association, SAQA, SAQA.com, is part of Textile Talks, and they are actually having a benefit coming up beginning September 11th through early October. And it's a fundraiser so they can continue to do their trunk shows and learning events, etc. And I encourage you to go online to check out their auction offerings. Now, it doesn't open until September 11th as far as bidding, but you can go to SAQA.com. So that's SAQA.com. And under events, you can actually see the little 12-inch quilts that have been made that will be auctioned off. Actually, we've bought things from them before, so take a look at that. It's quite fun and inspiring. I went through it this morning, and there was one with a dandelion that really caught my attention. So Lisa's asking, sometimes I can see the questions. Lisa's asking if I'll be at the Wisconsin Quilt Show. And no, I will not be there this year. It'll be the first time in quite some time that I will not be teaching there. And the reason why is because I've been doing, I was at Nancy Zeman Sewing Studio a couple months ago. So that's in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. And coming up November, I think it's 2, 3, 4, I will be in the Milwaukee area for Sew More Stitches, Sew More, hold on, let me get it. So much more. I think it's so much more. Let me look it up. I will be, yeah, so much more. November 3 to 5, outside of Milwaukee, so much more. And I will be giving 5 in person classes there. So, and I've done a couple other Wisconsin virtual and in person. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take a break this year from, and I must say it's always awesome, the Wisconsin Quilt Show in Madison, but I'm not attending this year. So thank you for asking. If you are interested in so much more, you need to go to their website to see what their offering is. So it's SEW, much more, all one word.com. And I know the owners, I saw them a couple months ago. In New Orleans. So I know it's going to be a great, great show. All right. So that takes care of the newsletter. Was there anything else? Oh, yes. There is one other thing that I just want to mention. So last month I mentioned that SoShare.com was doing a survey on seam allowances. And I think that mostly applies to garment sewing. When you make a garment, do you like to have the 5/8 seam allowance? So they did a survey, and SCHMETZ or Share had over 900 participants, and 65% of the participants like to have the seam allowance. But there were also some very vocal people that said they like um, a naked line, meaning no seam allowance, because they could control their seam allowances or the fitting better by making their own seam allowances. They could make adjustments and be pinpoint for accuracy. So again, whether you like the seam allowances or not, you've got choices. And I know Berta Patterns frequently does not have seam allowances, but I think for our U.S. market, they now do have some of their patterns with the 5/8 seam allowance. So do what works best for you. All right, now, oh, here I got rid of my questions. I set aside all my paperwork here. So this month, I will be giving 2 virtual presentations, and then I have 4 in-person classes. So I've got a little bit of travel for me ahead of me, so I'm excited for that. Now, what happened to my questions? Oh, here we go. All right. So as I go through these questions, I'll just mention the question again that puts you into today's giveaway. You need to answer, what's your favorite fabric to sew? What's your favorite fabric to sew? Okay, now there were a couple questions that came in before today's presentation. I'm going to go ahead and just address those. And one was from Janet, and she was asking about the hem stitch needle. And I don't know what has happened. The hem stitch needle has become very popular. So here is the hem stitch needle in the package. It comes in 2 sizes, a size 100/18 or the larger size 120/19. So what is the hem stitch needle? Well, it starts with a basic needle, but during production of the needle, when the dye is applied to the needle, there's excess steel that oozes out. And for most of our needles, that excess steel is ground down and refined. So we have a regular home sewing machine needle. But for hem stitch needles, that excess steel that oozes out when the dye is applied is just refined. So you get a needle with little wings. So the hem stitch needle is also known as a wing needle. So when do you use the when or how do you use the hem stitch needle? Well, fabric is very important when you use the hem stitch needle. You want a loosely woven or maybe up to a medium woven fabric, because when that twin needle passes through um, your loosely woven fabric, it's going to spread the fibers or spread the fibers. So you get a little hole. So it's an interesting textured stitch. Um, Hem stitch has been in the past used primarily for heirloom sewing. So I was thinking, well, who do I know who's like an heirloom? Well, there's so many heirloom stitch experts out there, including Martha Poland. But what I did was I went back to an old publication that I did. I think this was like 2007, called the SCHMETZ Designer Portfolio. And Carol Allis was the first designer that was listed. They were listed alphabetically. And she does, or has, I think she's pretty much retired now, but I still have her book, Fine Machine Quilting, as a great reference. Now, this book was first published, was it in 2000? And then it was republished in 2003. So if you get your hands on this, it's really a wealth of information. And again, Carol Laughlin Arles is the author, Ahles. So I went in and just thought, it's going to be hard to show this just because the colors are so light. But I wanted to show you a picture of what, because I don't have one handy, of my own heirloom sewing. Let me see if I can get up here. Okay, so this is actually 2 lines of stitching using the hem stitch needle. So you're going to stitch down to create a line of stitching, and then you're going to turn around and you're going to stitch up, and you're going to center that needle right into the existing hole. So here you can kind of see, right here is a break mark, and you can see 1 line of stitching going down the fabric. And then here you can see the stitching continues up. So you can see a fully made hem stitch, decorative stitch. So I thought that was really interesting. And I know that some of my friends, because some of my friends were asking about hem stitch and they wanted to experiment with them. So Janet, I can tell you that I will have some other samples or other information about the hem stitch needle, probably not in the next month or 2, but I'm going to say in 2027. Which isn't that far away, right? Okay, the other thing I just want to mention about the hem stitch needle is it also comes as a double hem stitch needle. So I'm going to say double and not a twin needle, even though it has 2 needles. But what it is, because the hem stitch needle is so wide, most machines could not accommodate 2 hem stitch needles. So it's a hem stitch needle with a universal needle. And again, it just makes a really unique stitch. Again, it's used primarily for heirloom sewing, but you know what, there's no reason why you couldn't experiment with these 2 needles on some of your existing sewing, especially if you're working with a loosely woven or a medium loosely woven fabric. So experiment with these. If when you go to your local sewing machine dealer or quilt or fabric store and they don't have the hem stitch needle, ask them for it, and most stores will be happy to bring it in for you. So here you go, hem stitch and the twin hem stitch needles. All right, Colleen asks about sewing through layers, sewing through lots of layers, not just layers, but lots of layers, and what needle should she use? And specifically, she likes to make by Annie bags. And yeah, you're going to want a heavier or a larger needle for a lot of those projects. So oftentimes when you're going through all those layers, and frequently you'll have maybe a stabilizer or a sticky adhesive or maybe a fusible, you need a special needle. And so hence are the super nonstick super universal is a great needle to use, especially when you're working through all those different layers. And if you're making tote bags or purses, you might want to size up, go up to a size 100 needle, a size 100. So the super nonstick super universal is available in 4 sizes: 70, 80, 90, and 100. And again, one of the trends that I saw during and even post COVID was this super nonstick super universal size 100 became very, very popular for tote and purse making. So keep that in mind. If you're not working with a lot of sticky stabilizers or fusibles, the denim needle would be a great needle choice. And the denim needle looks like a regular needle, but it has an optimized or a reinforced blade. So there's less needle deflection when your stitch is made. So Colleen, you do have options. The denim needle, the super nonstick, super universal would be the first choice. And sometimes you just have to experiment with needle type and size because, well, there's so many variations, right? All right, let me see. Oh, okay, Marianne, thank you, Marianne, is saying that the Fine Machine Sewing book is still available on Amazon. So if you're interested in that, take a look on Amazon. Janet says thank you on the hem stitch information. Oh, good. I'm glad you're here today. All right, so we've got lots of comments here on favorite fabrics to sew. Lisa likes cotton. Debbie likes cotton. Janice says sewing with batiks, batik cotton. Amazing colors, tight weave, so it doesn't fray much and it holds the press well. And Jana, I'm sure you know that the Microtex needle is a great needle to use when you're sewing with batik fabrics. So have some of those. I usually use the size 80-12 when I'm working with batiks, Microtex 80-12. Nancy says she likes to sew with cottons, but in the past she sews on satin, tulle, and polar fleece. Okay, and that just brings up in your little ABC pocket guide in the back inside cover is an alphabetical listing of fabrics with recommendations for needle type and size. If you don't have this, you can go to SCHMETZneedles.com and you can download it. It won't be as cute as this one. And also in the digital version, which would be SCHMETZneedles.com underneath resources, or you can download it onto your phone. There's over 100 fabrics that are listed alphabetically with needle type and size. So it's a free resource that's always handy, and we try to keep on top of that. All right. Cindy appreciated the diagram about the eyes, so thank you very much. Marianne has a SCHMETZ quilting 7511 in her machine. Janet says the pocket guide is very helpful. Valerie says her favorite fabric is cotton blend for clothing. Okay, yay. Marie likes to sew with cotton, canvas, and linen cotton blends. Yes. Yeah, you know, it's been a while since I've sewn with linen. Do I even have any linen in my stash? Maybe. I'll have to take a look because, wow, this is definitely linen weather. Vicky also likes batiks because of the colors. They make her smile. Okay. All right. So are there any questions? So again, to be entered into today's giveaway, you need to answer what's your favorite fabric to sew. Oh, I guess I should answer that too. I like to sew on wool. Wool has always been my favorite fabric growing up, and also participating in with the Make It with Wool contest. All right, so let's just go through what is in today's giveaway because, well, of course, we've got really generous industry friends. Our friends at Hobbs have sent Thermore batting, which is ultra thin. So if you're looking for a lightweight quilt, this is a great batting to use, and it is queen size. We have from our friends at Timeless Treasures, yes, Quilt Works. I love Quilt Works patterns. That's on my to-do list. Anybody else want to make a Quilt Works quilt? Yes. So anyway, you've got blended colors here from the whites to grays to the darks. So that would be very fun to work with. Also, I'm a huge fan of cuddle fabric. So this is Shannon Fabrics, ever so soft. And actually, this is actually a scarf. So, no sewing required. And I'm pretty sure that there's cold days coming eventually before the end of the year. From our friends at Yazi, I have this great little crossbody bag, but you could put sewing tools in here too. It's got lots of pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pockets. Yay! We all love pockets, right? And some are even clear to find things easily. I have the QuiltCon directory. Let's see, is it this year? What year is this? Oh, this was last year's. But I always have an ad in QuiltCon. And let me see, I must have lost the tag. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's folded over. So I always have an ad in the QuiltCon directory. I had one in the 2026 magazine also. So this is the QuiltCon. Wow, lots of inspiration, fantastic quilts. So no matter what kind of quilting you like to do, this is a great issue to peruse. And QuiltCon, I had it on my calendar for next year, but I don't think it's going to happen for me. It's going to be in Atlanta. And I don't think I'm going to be able to go this year either. So darn it. I guess I'll have to go 2028. Yeah, I've got something else now that I think about it. I do have an event scheduled during QuiltCon at elsewhere in the country. So, yes, Mary Malari, she's got her viola apron pattern. So we always love Mary's patterns. Very simple and easy to follow those directions. I found this little tote bag here. It's a pattern. It's a free pattern from Blend Fabrics. And I think Blend was actually bought by Jazz Tech. So I don't know if Blend Fabrics is still in existence, but one year I actually made this little drawstring bag and gave them as Christmas gifts. So this is the last pattern. No, I did not use this specific one. I had one at home, but you've got directions to make that pattern. From our friends at Taylor Seville, I've got the Taylor's Chalk, the Magic Taylor's Chalk. That's in white. We all have to mark sometimes. I have, a Grab It magnetic pin cushion in blues, the swirly blues. I think we still have one left. So if you want that, you'll have to go to SCHMETZneedles.com to get that last swirl Grab It magnetic pin cushion. And from Joe over at French European, I've got these dressmaking shears. I have not opened this box, even though it taunts me. I would love to open up this box, but it is sealed. So whoever wins today has a fresh pair of unused scissors. In other words, they haven't cut any paper. And then last but not least, I've got a variety of SCHMETZ needles. including the stretch needle for when you're sewing cuddle fabric or minky. I include Microtex size 8012, which is my favorite go-to needle for all kinds when I'm looking for precision stitches on cottons. And certainly this is the needle I use on batiks. And because we talked about the hem stitch needle, I've got a twin hem stitch needle right here in this little grouping. So lots of needles here for today's winner. All right, so I think I've covered everything. Let me just see. Janice says those French European scissors sew through anything. Well, let's leave it to fabric. Okay, so let me just see if there are any last minute questions. Oh, Victoria says she likes to sew through cork or with cork. She's making keychains and anything that works for me to do embroidery easily for her projects. So for cork, I would definitely use that super nonstick, super universal needle, this right here. And I would also use it for embroidery and especially embroidery on cork. So the super nonstick, super universal for sewing on cork. Let me see. Okay, I love your comments that you love today's giveaway. Don't you all want to win it? Even I want to win it. So let me just see if I've got a winner here yet. Well, my texts are exploding. Not because of this. I have one text from Paul who has, oh, interesting. Okay, so today's winner is Gina Rector from Houston, Texas. And oh, Gina or Gika? G-I-K-A. G-I-K-A Rector from Houston, Texas. And her favorite fabric to sew is handmade felt. So not just felt, but handmade felt. And where do you find handmade felt? Well, sometimes when you go to different expos or different shows, you will find that beautiful handmade felt. And oh boy, some of the names escape me right now, but generally at International Quilt Festival and some the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show, you'll probably find some handmade felt, and also Original Sewing and Quilt Expo. Or maybe there's somebody at your local guild or in your local community that makes handmade felt. So check that out. Oh, I'm so curious. Okay, yes, G-I-K-A Rector is our winner today. So Jika or Jika, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. What you need to do to claim today's prize is to send me an email at info@smetsneedles.com. That's info@smetsneedles.com. Smets Needles, all one word.com. All right, let me just see if there are any last minute comments. Gika. Oh, okay, Gika. It's pronounced, oh, she commented. So thank you very much. It's pronounced Gika. Oh, she makes handmade felt and it's delicious to sew. Awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. Well, I'm excited when everybody wins, and I'm excited that Geeko won today with handmade felt because that's not something that I see very often. So I'll probably have more to talk about that later. So again, Geeka, send an email to info@smetsneedles.com. On the subject line, put today's Smets Snippet Live winner. So I'll be back next month. And before I close out, you know what? I'm kind of thinking about changing the format next month or next year. So 2027. So if you have, if you'd like to see something different about Smets Snippet Live, I'm open to suggestions. Maybe you'd like more of a podcast, or maybe you'd like a shorter format, maybe 10, 15-minute format. You know what? I'm open to suggestions. Doing the 45-minute Smets Snippet Live has been a lot of fun for the last couple years. And let's just see what happens. Let's just see how maybe we could kick up our format. So if you've got an idea, send me an email at info@smetsneedles.com, or you could comment also on SCHMETZ Facebook page. But you know what? Send me an email. I like to see what you have to say. Okay, so any other questions? I don't think so. So it's super hot here in the Chicago area and elsewhere too. And I say when it's super hot and humid, it's a great day to sew. So sew SCHMETZ, everyone. I'll see you next month, which is October 7th. And keep on stitching. Sew SCHMETZ, everybody.